Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about some highly academic words in English. These words are very important in your writing essays or while you are speaking. You maybe have not come across the majority of these words in this video, so I want you to stick around to the end to be able to understand the meaning of every single word, as I'm going to use each of them in some example sentences to fully comprehend the meaning of all of them. Stick around and don't go away. Starting now with the first sentence. Let's read the first sentence together. This experiment could be an abysmal failure. Let's go back. Abysmal. Have you ever heard of that word before? What is the meaning of abysmal? Abysmal is an adjective that means something very bad. So instead of saying very bad, you can use the word abysmal. It's an abysmal project. It's an abysmal coffee shop. You can use these words, or this specific word, for some situation or for a specific place or for a person, okay? So it's an amazing word. Abysmal. Abysmal. That's how we spell it. Moving now to the second sentence. A few angry locals started heckling the speaker. So when you heckle someone, so that's a verb, okay? So when you heckle someone means you interrupt that person by saying or by shouting out loud statements or unnice statements, okay? So that's what we call heckle. So when you interrupt someone publicly, okay, by, for example, shouting or using unnice statements. So that's the meaning of hecklings, okay? For example, my cousin kept heckling me the whole time, or he heckled me during the meeting. Okay, as you can see, when you heckle someone, you are interrupting that person by saying unnice comments or unnice statements or just shouting loud, okay? So it's a verb. So the verb is heckle. That's the verb heckle. Now moving to the third sentence. The region endured weeks of incessant rain. Incessant rain. What is the meaning of incessant? Incessant is an adjective. Incessant is an adjective that means never stopping. So something that never stops, we call it incessant. And incessant rain. And incessant noise. Okay? So something that never stops, it keeps annoying you, or it keeps continuing. That's what we call incessant. We also use these words quite often as an adverb. For example, he incessantly wrote the project, or he incessantly, for example, monitored the area. Okay, so that means he monitored, or he was monitoring the area without stop. Okay, without stopping actually. So incessant or incessantly, the adjective and the adverb are quite often used in English. Okay, so try to use this word in your sentences when you speak or when you write. It's an academic one. Now let's move to the fourth sentence. So the difference between the two products is negligible. Negligible. Negligible is an adjective that means small in importance. Small in importance or amount. So that's what we call negligible. So as you can see, the difference between the two products is negligible. That means it's not worthy to talk about. A small importance, negligible. We quite often use the noun of negligible in English, which is negligence. Okay, so I have no space to write it anyway. So negligence, which is E-N-C-E. Okay, so after G we have E-N-C-E, which is the noun, sorry. Okay, negligence as well. Now moving to the next sentence. She has very contentious views on education. Contentious is an adjective as well. So she has very contentious views. Contentious views. So what is the meaning of contentious? Contentious means something that is likely to cause disagreement or argument. Okay? So we quite often use the word contentious with issue as well. So for example, it's a contentious issue, it's a contentious matter, it's a contentious debate, whatever. So contentious is a very academic word, and it's commonly used, by the way, if you are reading a lot of news, for example BBC News or CNN. They quite often use this specific word, as it reflects a strong meaning of some situation. Okay, so contentious means something that likely causes or might cause argument or disagreement. Okay, so it's an adjective. Moving now to that sentence. They have plenty of money. Plenty of, which is a lot of. Okay, plenty of means a lot of. So they have a plenty of money, but they tend to be thrifty. Thrifty. So thrifty is an adjective. Thrifty means economical. We can use another word, by the way, and it's called frugal. Frugal or thrifty. So when you are being frugal or thrifty, means that you don't overspend a lot of money. So you are being economical. Okay? So when we use it for someone or for the person who avoids profligate or profligate. So when you avoid profligate, or when you avoid overspending money recklessly, means you are being thrifty or economical or frugal. So it's an adjective, and it's very academic, by the way. Now moving to another sentence. All authors need to be wary. Wary means cautious. So wary means cautious or careful. So all authors need to be cautious or wary of inadvertent, that's an adjective, of inadvertent copying of other people's ideas. Inadvertent means something not intentional or unintentional. So it means like I didn't mean to do it. Okay? So inadvertent means not intentional. Okay? Or you can even say accidental. It's something you've done it by accident, accidental. We quite often use the word inadvertent as an adverb. Okay? Inadvertently. For example, let me just rewrite that sentence using inadvertent as an adverb. Okay? So for example, all authors have inadvertently copied other people's ideas. Okay? So have inadvertently copied other people's ideas. So have accidentally, have unintentionally, okay, copied other people's ideas. Okay, now let's move to another one. Unpalatable. Unpalatable. It's an adjective, and I guess not many of you guys know or maybe have heard of this word before. When you call something unpalatable, it means serious and unpleasant. Okay, so that's the meaning of unpalatable. So unpalatable means something serious and not pleasant. Okay, so the unpalatable or unpalatable actually, oh my god, I just mispronounced it. So the unpalatable facts about the war. Okay, so unpalatable means serious and unpleasant. Unpalatable. or unpalatable. Many people say unpalatable or unpalatable. Okay, you can use both pronunciations. Now another sentence. Some factors are known to attenuate the biological effects of stress. So as you can see, some factors are known to attenuate. Attenuate is a verb. So it's a verb that means weaken or make something weak. Okay? So when you make something weak means you attenuate it. So the campaign is designed to make people, some factors are known to attenuate the biological effects of stress. So to make it low, or to weaken, or to make it weak. That's the meaning of attenuate. So it's a very academic word, and we quite often use it, by the way, in biology. So when it comes to the science field, or to biology field, we quite often use this one. I don't know if you've heard before about attenuated virus or attenuated viruses. Attenuated means, and that's what we use as a vaccine. Okay, so the vaccine contains attenuated viruses. Attenuated virus means viruses that are not that strong. Okay. Now moving to another sentence. The campaign is designed to make people less prejudiced about AIDS. Less prejudiced. That's how we spell it. Prejudiced. Prejudiced means racist or biased. Okay, so it's actually a synonym of saying racist or biased. So yeah. Now seldom is an adverb, by the way, and it means almost never, or as if you are saying rarely. So I seldom means I rarely drive my car into the city. It's an adverb. We quite often use it, by the way, in our academic sentences. Try to use this one. You can even use it a lot in your daily speaking. Try to get used to this word. It's amazing. It's beautiful, and the pronunciation of that word is not that hard. Now moving to the last sentence here in our first category. It says he warned that an enemy missile. So he warned that an enemy missile attack was imminent. Imminent is an adjective that means likely to happen very soon. Likely to happen very soon. So when you call something imminent, means it's gonna happen soon. So be careful, it's imminent. Okay? Moving now to another category of academic words in English. These words you maybe have not heard of them before. Okay, I don't know if I actually spoke it correctly. Anyway, let's move to the first sentence here. So we have, I think cigarette advertising should be banned outright. Outright is an adverb that means immediately or completely. Okay, so outright is an adverb that means immediately or completely. Okay, so we always use outright at the end of the sentence. Okay, so you can't use it in the middle or at the end. You always have to finish your sentence with outright. Okay, so you will have to come outright. You will have to finish the project outright, means completely and immediately. Moving to another sentence. Her outfit was an arbitrary choice, but was just perfect. So arbitrary is an adjective that means random, okay, or by chance. Okay, so that's the word arbitrary, means by chance or random. So that is the meaning of arbitrary. Okay, we quite often use this word, by the way, specifically in scientific articles, or if you want to sound very formal, you can use this specific word. Moving now to another sentence. The show was just another mundane family sitcom. What is the meaning of mundane? Mundane means very ordinary. So when you call something mundane, means very ordinary or not that interesting. Okay, so it's mundane. Going to the shops every day is mundane. Means it's very ordinary, or like not that interesting, not that new or exciting. Okay? Now let's move to another sentence. We ought to clean up before we go home. Ought means should or have. Ought is a modal verb. Okay, so it's like, it's quite close to might, should, have. Okay, so these modal verbs. So ought means have or should. So we ought to clean up before we go home. I ought to finish my homework right now means I have to finish it. It's very academic to use this word, by the way. Okay, so try to actually use this one or try to use it in your sentences. Moving now to this sentence. The process of amending. Amending means fixing or editing. So the process of amending the Constitution is cumbersome. Cumbersome means difficult to manage. Difficult to manage. It's an adjective. It's a very academic word. Sometimes we can use it as awkward and heavy. So if you want to call something heavy as the weight of it, you can call it cumbersome. Okay, so it's awkwardly heavy. And also it means difficult to manage. So if you want to talk about a situation, a project, whatever it is, it's more used for things, not persons or people. So if you want to call a situation cumbersome, means difficult to manage because it requires a lot of effort and time. Moving to another one. An unscrupulous financial advisor. When you call someone unscrupulous, means he's dishonest. So he's unscrupulous means dishonest. It's an adjective that means someone who's not honest or not genuine. Okay, so it's a very academic word as well. Unscrupulous. He's unscrupulous. Now moving to this. My son has no or little aptitude for sport. Aptitude is a noun. Okay, so this is an adjective I forgot to tell you. Aptitude is a noun. Aptitude means a skill or talent. Okay, so he's got no aptitude at sport or for sport means he doesn't have skills in playing sports or he's got no talent. So aptitude means a skills or means a skill or a talent. Now, her department liaises. Liaises means connects or links. That's the meaning of liaises. It's a verb. Okay, links or connects. So her department liaises between the development team and regional officers. Another one. My new employee is truly conscientious. Conscientious. That's how we spell it. Conscientious. So conscientious. So this one here is spelled as sh. So conscientious. Conscientious means someone who puts a lot of effort and a loyalty or care into his job. Okay, so someone who is very loyal to his job or to her job. That's what we call conscientious. So someone who put a lot of effort into work. That's what we call, that's how we use conscientious. It's a very academic word and I'm quite sure that you have never heard of this word before. So try to use this in your sentences. Even try to practice the pronunciation of this one, because when you speak these words in the front of the public, you would sound, you know, like you would sound as someone fluent and or as a native speaker. So try to get advantage or to take advantage of the usage of these words as a pronunciation or even in writing. Moving now to the sentence. He treats her with such deference. Deference. That's how we spell it. Deference means respect. So it's a noun. Okay? And here it's an adjective. So deference is a noun, means respect. We enjoyed a leisurely picnic lunch on the lawn. So leisurely, what is the meaning of leisurely? Means unhurried or like relaxed. Relaxed or unhurried means done with some leisure. Okay, so done with more relaxation. So we're not in a hurry. Do you get it? So we enjoyed leisurely, relaxing, like done with leisure. So a leisurely picnic lunch on the lawn. And finally we have, I'm afraid I succumbed to temptation and had a piece of cheesecake. When you succumb to something, so that's the actual verb here. When you succumb to something means you accept it with defeat, or accept the defeat. Okay, so that's how you succumb to something. So accept defeat. When you accept defeat means you succumb. You succumb. That's how we spell it. Succumb. It's a very academic word as well. Okay. Jumping now into another list of academic words in English. These words are very helpful to boost, increase and ameliorate your English communication skills, whether listening, reading, writing and speaking. So try to take advantage of these words, try to focus on the usage and the placement of these words in these example sentences. Let's get started with the first sentence here. Math is an intrinsic part of the school curriculum. Intrinsic is an adjective that means very important. Okay, so when you call something intrinsic, means very important. That's the word intrinsic. It's amazing to use. Moving to the second sentence, a police raid would imperil the lives of the hostages. So imperil means you put someone's life in risk. So it's a verb. So when you put someone's life in risk, then you imperil him. So it's like you are putting someone's life or a specific situation into danger. That's how you imperil it. Okay, so imperil, it's a verb. His unruly behavior caused chaos in class. Chaos means noise. A lot of noise, you know, that's what we call chaos. Unruly behavior means very bad or reckless. Unruly is an adjective, by the way. Now moving to the sentence. There is ample evidence that the lawyer knew exactly the story. Ample, it's an adjective that means more than enough. Okay? So there is ample evidence, and usually we don't use the article A or N, or actually the article N. We don't use articles with ample. It's quite a strong and powerful word. So there is ample evidence that the lawyer knew exactly the story. Moving now, she sat back for a minute to ponder her next move. To ponder, when you ponder something, means you are taking some time to think about something. That's how you ponder stuff. So she's pondering, for example, she's pondering. So maybe she's isolating herself, taking some time to think about something, and it's noticeable. So it's noticeable that everyone is looking at her and everyone is noticing that this person is taking some long time to think about something. So that's how you ponder. So she sat back for a minute to ponder her next move, to plan or to think about, to take some long time to do something next. So ponder is a verb. I climbed onto a precarious platform to get a better view. Precarious is an adjective that means risky or dangerous. Okay, so precarious means dangerous. So I climbed onto a precarious platform to get a better view. Moving to another sentence, wave energy can be harnessed harness to generate power. So the verb harness, actually, that's the verb, that's the actual verb harness, means, can be harnessed means can be utilized or used. So used for a specific advantage, for a specific matter, okay? So wave energy can be harnessed, can be used or utilized, or can be taken into advantage, or can be taken advantage of to generate power. Our holiday plans were thwarted by the airline pilot strike. Here, thwart, the actual verb is a thwart. So thwart, or even you can use the verb stifle. So you can even say our holiday plans were stifled by the airline pilot strike. So when you thwart something or stifle something, you prevent that situation or that someone, you prevent a specific situation from happening. That's how you thwart something. That's how you stifle something. You prevent that situation from happening. So when you prevent something from happening, that's how we use thwart or stifle. Now this sentence here, the authorities have revoked or rescinded. So revoke is the actual verb, and rescind here is the actual verb. So have revoked or rescinded their original development plan. When you revoke something or when you rescind something, these words are very formal. They are used in formal positions like in law or government stuff, whatever. So when you revoke or rescind something, it means you make a specific law no longer active. Okay, so you make it less. You like, it's sort of like you are disabling some specific law. Okay, so or you are taking back some specific law. That's how you revoke it or you rescind it. Now let's move to exalt. The CEO will exalt his hard-working employees. To exalt someone, it's a verb actually. When you praise someone a lot, you are thanking that person a lot. So exalt means praise. When you praise someone a lot, that's how you exalt it. Okay, so the A here is spelled as O, exalt. The bank acquiesced. So that's the actual verb here, acquiesce. When you acquiesce something, means you agree but reluctantly. So there is some hesitation when you're agreeing of something or about something. So the bank acquiesced to an extension of the loan. We're quite used to after acquiesce. So he acquiesced or he acquiesced to my decision. Means he agreed to my decision, but he wasn't quite certain when he agreed. It means like he agreed but reluctantly. So acquiesced means agree or accept something, agree or accept, but reluctantly. Okay, so with some hesitation. So it's not agree actually, it's more like accept. So for example, the bank accepted to an extension of the loan. So when you accept something reluctantly or agree to something reluctantly, means you acquiesce to it. That's how we spell it, acquiesce, acquiesce, acquiesce. It's like 3 syllables. Now the last sentence here, Johnson complained that his statements were misconstrued. Misconstrued. Have you ever heard of that word before? If you misconstrue something, means you misunderstand it. So misconstrue is a synonym of the word misunderstand. So for example, oh sorry, you can say for example, sorry, I misconstrued you, or I misunderstood you. So misconstrue is the best replacement or the best substitute of the word misunderstand.